Imagine the Niger River flowing wide and powerful, lined with bustling markets and scholars debating philosophy. Now picture the Swahili coast, where ships from Arabia, India, and even China docked to trade gold, ivory, and spices. Between 1500 and 1800, Sub-Saharan Africa was alive with kingdoms, cultures, and connections that linked the continent to the wider world. In West Africa, the Songhai Empire dominated the Niger River Valley. Its capital, Gao, and the legendary city of Timbuktu became centers of learning, trade, and culture. But after the Moroccan invasion in 1591, the empire fractured, giving rise to smaller states like the Bambara Empire of Segu, which used the river as both a lifeline and a political model. Meanwhile, in East Africa, the Swahili coast stretched from Mogadishu down to Sofala. Cities like Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar were wealthy, cosmopolitan ports where merchants from Africa, Arabia, Persia, India, and China exchanged goods and ideas. This thriving network, however, began to decline when the Portuguese arrived in the 16th century, seizing ports and diverting trade. One of Africa's greatest rulers, Askia Muhammad I, reigned 1493 to 1528, turned Songhai into the strongest empire in West Africa. He standardized weights and measures, organized a professional army, encouraged Islamic scholarship, making Timbuktu a hub for Quranic study, law, and science. Askia Muhammad was a devout Muslim, but he balanced tradition and innovation, much like leaders in Europe and Asia at the same time. Religion shaped identity, politics, and daily life. In Songhai, Islam was dominant among rulers and merchants, linking them to North Africa and beyond. In Ethiopia, the highlands remained a stronghold of Coptic Christianity, tracing its roots to the early centuries of the faith. In Asante, Ashanti, and among many peoples, Animism thrived, belief in spirits of nature and ancestors. These traditions coexisted and sometimes blended, showing Africa's diverse spiritual landscape. The rise of the Ashanti Empire in present-day Ghana reflected both cultural power and tragic choices. The Ashanti became wealthy and militarily strong, trading gold, kola nuts, and enslaved people. Like other West African states, they supplied captives to European traders in exchange for firearms, textiles, and luxury goods. This trade devastated communities, reshaped societies, and tied West Africa to the brutal Transatlantic Slave Trade, which would eventually fuel abolitionist movements centuries later. On the Swahili coast, trade created a blended culture: African, Arab, Persian, Indian, even Chinese. Kiswahili, the language, fused Bantu with Arabic. Towns displayed coral stone mosques, carved wooden doors, and vibrant marketplaces. This cosmopolitan life declined under Portuguese domination, but its legacy remains in East Africa's culture and identity. Geography mattered. Rivers like the Niger sustained empires. The Indian Ocean monsoon winds powered trade. Culture flourished. Art, music, oral traditions, and architecture reflected both local identity and global exchange. Power shifted, from Songhai to Segu in the west, from Swahili city-states to Portuguese outposts in the east. So, what does Africa's story between 1500 and 1800 teach us? That African empires were not isolated. They were central players in global trade, religion, and culture. But these interactions also brought challenges: invasions, the fragmentation of empires, and the devastation of the slave trade. If you were a merchant on the Swahili coast or a scholar in Timbuktu, how would you describe Africa's role in the world at that time?
Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into African history insightful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. See you next time.
Thanks for watching Histoscript. If you learned something new today, or just love the hidden side of history, give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story your textbook skipped. History isn't just dates, it's secrets, myths, and the strange truths behind it all. Stay curious. Stay tuned.